Alrighty, welcome back. Today we're going to go ahead and look into the app and what exactly everything does. So first off, we're at the home screen. There's a lot just to do on this first screen. So up here at the top where it has home, there's two things you can do here. One, you can search. Now you can search through anything like, let's say, New York. You wanted to search up a region for New York. Make sure that the space isn't between at first or it'll mess up sometimes. So we want to search New York. So here it comes up with a few different things. We have New York, the city, New York, the state. We have a citizen named Amar, New York. We have articles and private factories. So this will just show anything that basically pops up with New York. And there's 770 different articles with it and 8 different or 5 total factories with it. So that's the search button. And then we have here, which shows your map, storage, and auction. First, let's go to the map. Now, I will go deeper into detail about the map later, but for now, you have the map. A very explorable map. You can click on any region. You could be able to go to them if the borders are open. Explain again that a little bit later on. So there's the map. And then we have storage, which holds everything that you own. And then we have auctions, which is basically just little auctions. Usually they're factories. Sometimes they'll have premium. Sometimes they'll have gold. But those are that. And then we have the home screen here. This goes back and forth. It shows how many people worldwide, how many are online, how many regions there are, how many states there are. In this game, states are basically like countries. Then you have, well, you can get as big as a country. Blocks, you got political blocks. You have 4 independent regions right now. That means regions without a state. You have 2,000 different parties and about 8,500 different factories. So all of these are clickable. You can go to the world and it'll show the players. Go to who's online right now and it'll show players who are online right now. How many regions. It'll go to the map. The states list, in which it shows each individual state. It'll show their population by state, the maximum, well, not the maximum, sorry, but the daily wages of each leader and who each leader is of every state. Now, political blocks, they are blocks that are entities of states that are aligned together. And right now, there are 16 different blocks. Each one is basically an allied states alliance. The biggest right now is Angel of Nightmares, which is just a bunch of states that have defensive agreements and help in wars and battles and other things. And then we have parties. Now, one of the big things we'll get into is political parties, but here we have the parties, top parties by members, their daily wage, their total level, which is basically all the members' levels added together. And this goes all on down. You could go all the way down and show more, it'll load more, and you can honestly go through this list forever, but we're not going to do that. And then it has the top factories. Now you'll want to keep this in mind if you're ever going out farming, because this will be able to show what the top factories are, and those are very important. We'll get into that later, and the different types of factories. So here, this box right here, we have where you are. So currently I am in Arizona. Now I can click on this, it'll go to the Arizona page. And then we have who's in my region, what parties are in the region, what factories are in the region, the pollution, which pollution is caused by wars. We have military academies, and we have who's online in the region. And then we have our state, which is the American main state right now is the American Federation. We have 1,000 in the state total. It's actually more than 1,000, but it rounds. We have parties, factories. We have 42 regions right now in the state. There's orders that you could click on, which is just an order by the leader and who's online. And this button right here goes to the state parliament, which you need to have a seat in to be able to do anything. And this right here is a war button. It's kind of a smaller one. We'll get more into that later in an actual video. Here is what we call cancer, which is the global chat. For the most part, I would suggest you stay away if you're not up to it. It gets bad at times of some things. It gets good at times, but I guess it's just, again, how you play, like I've said in my last episode. And we have conferences, which are just basic chats. See, since the only real chat there is global chat, which goes by languages. I mean, you can always go here and open it up more and go to different language chats if you really want to. I mean, a lot of stuff is just dead. But it doesn't really give you a lot of party chats or anything like that. A lot of people use outside sources like Discord or Telegram for their party, as it's better to communicate. But you'll get sometimes conferences for parties. There's a lot of different conferences out there. This is our official one, which is official RR help for players. So if you ever need the link for this, we'll go ahead and help you out. There's also another one here, help for new players, which again is kind of more filled. Ours is brand new, we're just building it. But these are led by veteran players that just help out players. So here you have your party. Now you're going to want to join a political party when you get it in. I'll explain that more in the next video. And then here we have your storage. Again, you have the button here that links to storage, or you can also go here and you can click on it and it goes to the same place. So there's two ways to get to your storage. This right here is Soldier of the Hour, the person dumping more damage than anybody else. And this is the top war of the hour, which right now is a space war. Then we have events history, which just brings up basically the most past events of everything. It sometimes works, sometimes it'll glitch out like it's doing right now. So if you get the chance to check it out, go ahead. Here in the articles, we have basically player-made articles. Something that's really big about this game is how people communicate. Articles, you could be able to post parties here. You could post your opinions of things, post polls, post anything. Well, again, I'll get into another video more about that. You go to best articles, which are the top-rated articles at the time. Again, this is generated by your language. You can always go all languages. And then this is a new thing that just came out. It's local rating, which is still kind of weird. And then we have your subscriptions, which whoever you're subscribed to, you can be able to keep up with everything. So that's articles. And again, we'll get more into how you do articles later. This is your working section. We'll go ahead and get into it, but you want to be working pretty much most of the time on, if you have premium. If not, you'll want to check in at least once or twice a day to be able to work in a factory. It's basically essential. Then we have your wars section, which is all the wars of the world that are going on. There's a lot. Right now there's 120 wars going on, and they get to be quite fun once you get into it. But you'll need stats, which is what this is right here, your profile. This is who you are. And yes, I am Shadow, as you see right here. That's the name of me, my rating place right now, my level, and my profile picture. Now this is my money, and this is how much gold you have. Now you could be able to buy gold here. This right here, if you don't have premium, it'll say buy premium. It'll be a little blue button. But if you do have it, it'll tell you how long you have. You can always click on it and get more. It just stacks. It doesn't overlap. Here you could be able to get your gold. Quests are something you want to check in and do every day. It's like your daily checklist. Make sure you keep up on it. There's military academies, departments, just working every day in factories. This little box, just a little bit about where you are and what your permit is. As I'm in Arizona, and I actually have a residency in Arizona, which means I live here. I have a permit in a state called Kansas right now, and my party is the CIA. And here we have your perks. Now this basically goes into how strong you are, how much you can be able to hold, how much work experience you hold, how much you get per time you work, everything. This is the biggest part of who you are right here in a way. Well, more so your account. And then this is more so a detailed information of everything. Your energy, how much friends you have listed in your list, your experience and all, your damage you've done. Your war section here, you could be able to check on your past wars. You can be able to go into your actual damage and see how much you're hitting per hit. You can be able to click on your articles and see your past articles. And you'll be able to have something called karma, which is how much people upvoted your articles. So far I have 1,000 karma on this account. Your working experience, which is how much you've worked. Your max per specialty, which is related to your stats. Your political views, your local time, your last time you were on, what time, when you actually registered. Real nation, you could be able to change. Originally I'm United States, but you could be able to change your real nation to get what's called a boost. It explains a little bit more right here, which ones you get the boost from while you have the nation changed. But you can always change your displayed nation, which is this little thing right here, which just basically shows what you kind of stand for. House level, it kind of relates a lot like a perks. We'll get more into that later, and you could be able to build it here. It'll tell you the amount you need to build the next level, and you could be able to click on build. If you don't have enough, it'll flash. If you do, it'll go through. And then here is what you've donated to budgets, to states, to regions, basically what you've done. And then you have all your medals here, which just kind of tell you more about what you've done with your account. And you could click on any medal and see who has the most commander medals, which is Wattman with 1307. So that is, we also have the settings, which you can change your avatar, which is your picture right here. You could change your name, which you could be able to change at any time. You could change your nation, which I was talking about. Your display nation is this. Your original nation change, you can change here, but you can only do it once every 2 weeks. Your interface language, what the app language is. Your language for translation, because you could be able to translate other languages that are spoken by players. It's a little iffy in special places, so we'll get more into that. Here you could be able to, if you click this on and off, people can be able to invite you to conferences. Allow friends to only do it. Help buttons. Show states instead of regions. So when you go into the war section, instead of showing which state is being attacked, it shows which region is being attacked. Show pictures and chats and comments, which depending on how you go about it, you might want to turn it off because some of it just gets weird, or, well, there's been some bad times. Show your party tag, which is just by your name here. You see mine is turned off at the moment. If I turn mine on, you see how it says CIA by my name. And then we have push, which is your notifications push for full energy. We have log out of your account, and then delete profile and data. Do not press this button. Or, well, they've changed it a lot, but it does delete some stuff. Last and least is the message section, which you can go through and be able to see your messages and people that you have messaged. And if you're a party leader, you can send out party messages and your blacklist to see who is blacklisted. And that will do it for this episode. Next episode, I will actually get into what you should be doing to begin with and how you should start.